think we're coming up close to our cutoff time here. I guess we'll see the end of this king-queen hand and then stop the video for part 2. Again, I hope this isn't too annoying for you. At least it doesn't really cover up my stack or my cards or anything like that, and you can kind of see through it, I hope. So he just limps in, and we, again, I just don't want to build a pot out of position. It's probably doable. I'm not a huge raise out of the big blind with king queen a whole lot guy anyway. So I just check, and keeping the pot small and pre-flop is good. And once we hit this flop, we're obviously not going anywhere. And I'm going to play this one a little different because the pot is much smaller. I'm just going to kind of pot control it and I'm probably not going to raise at any point in this hand. Just going to, betting or check calling are both fine. But with one player in and he limped in under the gun, I just prefer check calling. Because, so many times he's going to have a hand that's just nothing. An ace-6 or pair of 4s or something like that we're just absolutely crushing. It's probably just going to fold if we bet, but he might take a stab like this if we check it to him. So just going to check call. He makes another stab, and again it's smaller, less than half pot. No, folding isn't an option. I mean, we should have the best hands here still quite a lot. And even though raising might have a little value to it at this point, I just think that because of the structure, and I don't know, I don't think we're getting called by a lot of worse hands if we raise. Just call. And of course, if he has diamonds and he calls on the turn, or a diamond peels off in the river and we're out of position and there's now a ton of money in the pot and we check, we're more liable to get bluffed off or something like that. So just call, keep the pot relatively small. Diamond peels off on the river, which is really the one thing I didn't want to see. Because his line could be diamonds a lot. The bet strong, then bet small. But I still like our hand. I don't love it. The question here is, to check and evaluate is an option where if he bets some massive amount, I might have to fold. Again, in other games, non-double or nothings, you might consider calling the massive bet, and obviously having a read on the guy helps make those sort of decisions. But we don't really have that, and we are in a double or nothing game. So I think if we check, we have to fold to a big bet. If he checks and bets 150, we have an easy call for sure. But if he bets anything like more than half the pot or something, we're going to have a really hard time calling it. The other option, again, and we've done it before, and we folded to his raise, is to make a block bet on the river. And of course, last time I seriously doubt he bluffed us. I'm quite sure he had that on the queen 5-5 board. I'm pretty sure he had a queen. But he might remember that. I don't know. It's always hard to know which level your opponents are on. But does he know that and thinks he can do it again, or is he less likely to think he can do that again if he doesn't have anything and bluff us off? I think I ended up just deciding to check here and just evaluate what he does, but I'm not 100% sure. I did make the bet again. Okay, I made the half pot bet, and it's pretty much the exact same play as last time. And again, I don't think it's a bad play here. I don't think he's going to raise us without a flush or better. If he's got a boat, if he had nines or limped in kings or something like that, those hands are going to raise us for sure, and that's fine. We have an easy fold. If he has a flush, small flushes might just call. Most players are going to raise if they have a flush. If he has a king, I don't think he's ever folding any king, and we'll actually get a little value out of that. If he has a 9, we might get lucky and get him to call, but he would definitely probably just check back on the river. And I just don't think we're getting bluff raised very often here. and he just folds. So maybe he had a 9, maybe he was just screwing around with nothing, which is probably the most likely situation. And that's okay. I mean, I don't. That's not doesn't necessarily make this bet a mistake. I mean, if we checked and he had nothing and he decided to pot it, I mean, it would have been in a really tough spot. Um, I think that play it makes his hand a little easier to play. It can be a little transparent to better players, but it and if people know you and know you can make that play or whatever. But I it's not really a concern I have when I'm playing low buy-in stuff. And of course, the structure makes this kind of hard, even against a good player. I might make the same play with a full house in this spot too. So I'm not always betting in just a fold to raise.